looks like we are good to go. Yeah. Now, I think it was 3 weeks ago, I did an unboxing video of cord bags. First time getting my hands on them, and they are sub-packing equipment organizers, manage all the cables, mounts, adapters, batteries, chargers, all of those little bits can be quite chaotic. And having these cord bag organizers, I've spent the last couple of weeks really using them every day, and a really exciting way that fills in some of the void of what my organization has been missing. And if you're not familiar with them, they look a little something like these. I want to just show you what my current setup looks like, to see how I've organized, used these, and made the most of all of the features that comes inside. I'll put the links to everything featured down in the video description and the pinned comments. And if you have any questions, then of course I'm happy to answer them. Let me know. But let's dive into my setup, shall we? In my aluminium luggage, this is the Level 8 Gibraltar travel luggage. I reviewed a bunch of theirs. I've got their 18-inch version, which is also handy. Great aluminium luggage. Normally it's for travel, but they have removable dividers. And a quick rundown of the cord bag organizers I've got in here. These are the Cord Pouch Mark IIs. It's their main pouches that you'll find, and they've got a range of sizes. This one being the smallest, medium, which is the one I showed earlier here. We've got one of their larges, just like that. We've also got their extra large, smallest version. This is the Fused Mini attached onto the extra large, which is cool. I've also got their Nimbot D101 printer for the labeling that you'll see on the front, which are these ones. We've also got their patch set. So this is MISC patches 01, 02, and where you've got some of these more funky ones. These are from the travel patch set 01. So those are a rundown of everything from cord bag. And I also have the Night Eyes carabiners, a set of 6 on my light stand, which is a hybrid clothes and for my lighting and top-down shoots. Here, this is just where I've got all of my filters for my matte box. Cine rig, just in its bare bones shell. Also finalizing that with all the equipment, so I'll do an update on that later on, and it is coming along nicely. Also, one of these little collectibles, like to spruce it up. So that is a quick look at the setup. Now we're going to dive into what I've actually put inside. All right, so starting off with the small ones. So I've got a total of 5 in here. And first thing that you should know with these cord bag organizers, it's fine getting one, but they really come alive as soon as you pair it with a couple of these, especially when they are the same size, because they are great to stack, easy to fold, and then you have a uniform and very consistent design, visual indicator, however you want to customize with the patches, the labels. But it's super powerful, really nice organization, and I find you can travel with 1 or 2 of these, or just several if you're going for a lighter load. But at home, at the studio, or just inside your larger hard shell cases, having a few of the same size is going to make it really well organized. Purple one is actually from the travel set, and this is from the MISC patch. So these ones are just my universal cables. I like to charge and power with everything else from my phone, my tablets. And then these ones are more camera specific from Condor Blue. So I've got my USB-C and my D-tap, kind of building out all the different cable lengths and types I want to have. So I find I'm going to add them in to these. And yeah, this small one is easy going. You can put camera batteries and a combination, so you can just have this as your one set for power and cabling, for example. But since I have quite a lot of cables, and most people would, then I run 2 separate ones. Behind those, I've got a media bag. So this is going to house all of my storage when it comes to footage, photos, and also just archiving and working from. On the back, you can see the molle webbings, very good for the carabiner, hanging it on rails, or just any D-ring. And I've got media in matching pink and a pink cord tab. These are 1 TB. I recommend a 2 TB, even the 4 TB ones that they've got now, absolute workhorse. And I've got 2 of those in here. And these are for archiving my Seagate HDDs, much slower, but stuff that I'm not going to touch for quite a while, or finished projects, travel size, and then at home, I'll just have the larger ones for that deep archive. Recent SSD I swapped in my laptop. It's like a 512. I swapped it with a 2 TB version, and then I've put it inside this external SSD enclosure. This is Asus Tough Gaming, and yeah, this is solid metal, really well built. It's got its own thermal paste in there. The internal zip pocket has all the USB-C cables and even the ones for my hard drives. Next one is for my lens and body caps, just to make sure when I finish shooting, then I can close up the rear caps of the lenses. And I also have the body caps. These are my Polar Pros. Really love these, highly recommend it. These will protect the sensor, but you can also attach either an SD, even a CF Express, micro SD, and an AirTag holder that will fit. I just have these field-made co-indicators to attach onto the Sony body caps. Memory cards to stop like the amount of usage ejecting and slotting memory cards into the body. I'll keep it here. This is housing the wireless labeling printer I got from CRDBAG themselves. It's actually the Nimbot D101, and it fits perfectly inside the cord pouch small. This is great to not only keep protected, but it's also a great way just to travel with it, take it for any backup labeling you need to do while you're on set. This one works extremely well. Inside it came with the thinner tape, and you can remove the internal divider and slot some of the larger direct thermal tapes that came with this set. Also has an app, so you have to download it on your phone. And initially I did have some troubles trying to get it paired, but I just ran a VPN to the US. So if you're having issues with being region locked or something, then just install a VPN and you can access it internationally. Inkless, Bluetooth enabled. You can charge it via the USB-C port underneath. And yeah, this is actually a really great labeling printer setup. And I have that one housed inside the small. Looks absolutely dope. So this has got all my labeling printer needs. And I've added the CRDBAG sticker that these organizers tend to come with. So those are 5 of the small, and you can see in a carry-on with it mostly packed out width-wise, it also can sit alongside the medium, but I tend to have it sideways when I'm having it closed down and actually traveling. So far so good. Now we're going to move over to the mediums. Both of these sizes I do really enjoy, and for the smaller bits and how well everything is packed inside, the smalls are amazing, especially just throwing into a backpack. But the medium is going to give you that much more space to work with, also fit some of your larger camera rig gear. The longer and larger cables, I've got it split into these 2 just because I like to separate the different types, but also because the HDMI ones, I've got it labeled here with the Condor Blue logo. Nice window in here, a lot bigger than the small, but I'm also running longer HDMI cables up the light stand and further away, so this one just fits in a lot better. Got some HDMI cables, even got the coiled ones as well. I've got the smaller ones inside the zipper, and this is the coiled 12 to 14 AirTag pocket, which I've used for the screws or tightening for some of the mounts. You can also throw an AirTag tracker. My Samsung tag also fits in here. Color coded it in blue, mostly blue and purple in here. And I've got the labeling so I can easily see what is inside and what's related to. Next one up, I've got it housing my external monitor in the medium. This is perfect for a 7-inch, at least for my small HD in the 7 monitor patch, campfire square labeling. And I've also label printed a small HD logo onto the core tab. And inside is a snug fit, but twisting it I can still house the Indy 7, so 7-inch screen. If you've got anything like that, it will fit in here. May struggle with a cage. That's something I do need to check out, but I've just got a random dust bag cover from some of my other gear to give it the extra protection and cushioning. Nicely protected, housed, and just got some of my quick release F22 mounts with Falcam. Cage might be a little difficult to get clear the zip of the medium, but the monitor on its own works really well in here. 5-inch, definitely. You can fit it with any extra plates or even with your cage on a 5-inch, no problem on this. The third one I've labeled as gadgets. This is kind of my everyday medium pouch I take with me in the backpack, and it's just gonna house all of the extra cables and stuff that I want to charge. Charge ASAP Flash Pro Plus power bank. This is 210 watts, absolute beast. It can power up to 100 power delivery and also charging. So with my small rig VB99 Pro, I can fully charge this in an hour 20, 1 hour 30. And it's also got output ratings on the screen for all of the ports. So that's also been really cool. Power or juice that one up, I'm using the Charge ASAP 280 watts Zeus. Absolutely awesome for powerhouse traveling. You got up to 140 watts on a single port, 3 USB-C, 1 USB-A. Got an LED screen so you can see the wattage for each of those connections. My fourth and final medium pouch. This is for all of the camera cine rigging that I do just to build up my camera if I need to. So all of the side handles, top handles, rails, monitor mounts, that's all in here. I've got it with grips, axe, mounts in square patch. And since I'm having a combination of mounts from different brands, then I can use the thinner direct thermal tape in the wireless printer, and that will give me some inkless black versions of the logos. So I've got Falcam, Tilter. I think I've also got CRDBAG and a bunch of other stuff. So lightweight rigging, 2 side handles, top handle, monitor mounts, and my Tilter manual focus pulley thing. I can also just about fit in my 2 15mm rods, carbon fiber, and the V-mounts plate. Anything more than that, you want to go to the large. This is great, but I probably feel more comfortable moving to the larger for everything camera rigging related. Definitely one of the best examples of the cord pouch. Really happy with that one. Really awesome having it organized inside a carry-on or just at studio at home. It's also going to help people know what you're looking for. If you need to grab extra bits or other people need to dive into it, everything can be labeled as you want. Even like an inventory in the core tabs of knowing exactly what should be in here, so nothing is lost, left behind, everything is accounted for. Now this one's going to be a lot quicker since I've only got one of the cord pouch large, but it's also been a growing favorite size of mine. The large is going to give me that much more volume than the medium, so I would probably want to add another 2 or 3. The large houses my lighting power. This has very long cabling for my aperture lights, and it's actually the perfect size to keep it all neatly organized, keep it compact and easy to access. And I love how it just really removes all of the excess cabling around the place. I've got it in a pink with the light Velcro and the batteries. So having those 2 labeling as a reference is really awesome. The larger you go, the larger the window, and it makes it really nice to see. Still reinforced, still very nice protective, just to keep these ones nice and padded on transit. But it doesn't feel bulky at all. It's a little bit on the thinnest side here just to kind of balance it out, and means that it's not going to weigh too much. If it's really heavy, really well padded, it's great, but it's going to add a lot of load to, you know, the way that you are traveling, especially if you're just going carry-on or check-in, and then yeah, that can add up across these bags. Even more molle webbings you can use to sandbag or weigh down. Getting this with the carabiner as a weight stabilizer, and I've got that carabiner, gives it extra clearance. And the large is nice if you've got a really heavy rig, then having maybe the extra large is also a good idea too. Very easy in and out. These are just gonna give it a bit more life, especially if they're undergoing some really brutal usage. It actually houses it very nicely and fits in with the rest of the gear here. That is the large. Now, we've got the fused mini. And it looks like this, the easy way you can throw in onto a belt using their PAL system inside your backpack for those smaller bits. You can house about 3 of the Sony camera batteries, and that will all fit in here. So it's also a nice lightweight option. There's no MOLLE webbings on this, but you do have the Velcro pouch for 2 reasons. One, you can put it onto their grid lid. So I actually don't have it on this, but you can attach it onto the inside lid and use that as an organizer without having to use those buckles that add a bit more weight. You can also, like what I did, like that. Let me give you a closer look. This is the Velcroed section where I put the labeling on the pouches, but you can see on the extra large, it's really wide. You still got the same length for the cord tabs as the smaller pouches, so it means you've just got extra space for the Velcro. I only have one of these fused mini. I like to put in the center. If you have at least 2 of these, then you can run one here and easy to stick on, and then another one there, and then you have 2 on the extra large, which is really cool. Since I've got the one, I'll just put it in the middle, and you can see how easy it is to attach. But it's not just the extra large, you can also put that, if you're carrying 2, then you can carry them both at the same time. Nice and spacious still inside to drop all your little bits. I like to house it for my mounts or plates. Still do have cord tab insert if you want to use like so, but it's going to block the window compared to the other pouches. So I actually like to just run this transparent and do the labeling up here. And then interestingly, they've gone for like more of a stylized zipper, which starts on the back and it finishes at the front. It can be a little bit difficult. Rode Wireless Go, my microphones, transmitters, receivers. Also for those camera batteries I mentioned, memory cards, even one of the storage SSDs if you don't need to bring the entire suite of storage media with you. Really useful, and you can be very creative how you want to use it. And again, you're done. And the extra large is going to be great for a gimbal, especially for the larger size ones. I haven't got my DJI RS3 with me, that's back in the studio, but that would fit in perfectly broken down. Having it housed in this, it's going to fit perfectly flat packed and also just give you that extra protection. They have these 2 hooks that you might have seen on the bottom and top, and I've been able to use that MOLLE webbing to attach it and allow me to use those hooks just as a makeshift way of holding the extra large with the rest of the gear. How many more MOLLE webbings you have, but it's also if you're carrying heavier gear, then you would want extra buckles to support. And for me, it's not flushed right at the back like I would want, but for this, it's just a nice example of how I can keep it all together if I'm having it in use. They also have the grid light lock, and you can have it mounted to the side or top of your carry-on. Actually, I'm curious, can a GoPro nearly naked fit inside the fused mini? Oh, I think it can. Even with my mounting adapter, it can fit inside the fused mini, so that's actually really cool. But this actually would be an awesome sub-packing case. It's kind of like a vacuum sealed bag. It's an even greater way to sub-pack and organize all of the smaller bits. I would say if it's not in a presented view like this, I would actually face them sideways, and it has a little bit of edge to lean in, and this is just specific to this carry-on. Don't forget to take out the fused mini. But it all fits inside my carry-on. For everything camera related fits inside here, also organized in those. Pretty awesome. Yeah. And when you arrive on your shoot, find a place to prop it up. There we go. And there you have it. So yeah, that is literally a latest update or look into how I'm organizing my camera gear with a cord bag. Sub packing is starting to become a very enjoyable and exciting part of how I like to keep my stuff organized, not just the larger luggage, backpack, drawers and such. It's actually how you're organizing inside them and how versatile these have been, taking it with me going out on a day-to-day and just when I need the full load, and having it all together like this, not just one or a couple, but really fleshing out with all the little bits of camera gear I've got going on. It's really come alive, and this isn't finished. I'm really excited and very happy with the cord bags. So yeah, thanks a lot. This is just a quick vloggy update. I'll be putting the link to everything from cord bag and my own gear featured in the pinned comments and video description. You can still get 15% off using my exclusive discount code, and you'll find more of my gear updates on my website at onetechtraveler.com. See you in the next one, but until then, keep being awesome. Peace. Whoa. Yeah.